Masters of None podcast. Episode what?
Four.
Episode 4. Jesus, 4 that flies. I know it seems like a lot of days since we did the last one. It's still within the week.
Yeah,
but it's like 10 days because we did a Monday last week.
Yeah, it's still one a week, but we did it exactly. We did the Monday. But I mean, I still want to talk about. We can still talk about what had the fights this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the fights for sure. I got I mean, nothing really to say. I ate shit on this one too. I mean, I thought Justin Gaethje was going to land some punches and really hurt him. He did land some shots, but goddamn, they did nothing.
Okay, so we're talking about Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. First things first, as the second Khabib came out, I said something about, I was like, look, his foot's wrapped up. Because about a day before
you did call that. He called that, I gotta say.
A day before the fight, I had read something about somebody saying that something's wrong with his foot. And now it's confirmed. He's got, is it a broken toe or a broken foot?
I think he had multiple broken toes. I believe that's why they were taped and kind of splintered together like that.
Yeah. And did you see the image of him getting his toe stuck in the cage?
No.
So there's a GIF going around of him getting his toe stuck in the cage and pulling back on the triangle. So when you see, I'm pretty sure it was in the second round, he gets the triangle, he's on top, and right before he leans back, his toes get caught in the cage, and he kind of wince. Or it could have, from the GIF, it was either that side, it was either then, or when he pulled the armbar in the first round. But he was up against the cage, toes get caught in, and you can see him kind of like make a face.
That's interesting because I did not notice that, and I didn't see that anywhere either.
I didn't see it in the fight. I think I seen it on Reddit.
Yeah, man, because he was injured there, and I think did you see DC talking about why he triangled Justin Gaethje?
That is crazy,
bro. He said he didn't want to hurt him in front of his family. He said he didn't want his parents to see him hurt. He said because he knew he wouldn't tap to an armbar.
He said that Justin had been saying all week that he wouldn't tap. And he knew.
I said that too. I knew he would have to go to sleep.
And yeah, 100%. Nobody's. He's one of those guys that are just not. He's not going to tap.
No, absolutely not. So I can't say. I knew he would go to sleep. I mean, Jesus Christ, he did tap though.
He did tap,
but I don't know where the ref was. I mean, he tapped like 10 times.
He did tap on the choke. I think that. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I don't know if it's because there's something wrong with our audio.
No. That's possible. Yeah, it's like an echo. That other mic must be on. That other mic must be hot.
The other mic is completely off. I think the volume is still up.
We appreciate the call.
Thank you. Oh, yep.
Damn, that's a real one. We just got a phone call because our audio was fucked up.
Damn. Woo. Should we start over?
No. That shit happens. Who gives a shit? I'm checking right now. Who gives a shit? This is live. That's what live is.
It is live, 100%.
That's what live is. When you produce your own podcast, this is real life. You guys want to get in this podcast game, this shit is a pain in the ass sometimes.
It's never perfect. And now it should sound good.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, now it sounds good for sure.
Perfect.
How long has it been, though? I'm curious.
Doesn't say. Who cares? It's fine.
That's gonna.
Anybody just stick around. Who cares? They got to stick around. Stick around. That's what it is. It sucks. And it's going to happen to you. If you start a podcast, if you're watching this podcast and you think you want to start a podcast, this shit is going to happen. It's part of it. So where were we? We were talking about Khabib switching to the triangle because he knew Justin Gaethje wouldn't tap.
Yes. So he said he didn't want to hurt him in front of his parents. So
he said he knew he'd have to break his arm.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to hurt him in front of his parents. I was like, Jesus Christ. I even tweeted that like kids need to be like Khabib.
Yeah. I mean, he's a humble guy. I
don't
like
be
him.
LeBron.
I don't know nothing about LeBron.
Don't be LeBron, be Khabib.
Did you watch? I know you don't watch the Nelk Boys.
I do, and I saw them jump on stage with Donald Trump on Twitter, and I was cracking up. I was like, these kids are crazy.
Not only did they jump on, so they were at the fight. when before the fight they get a fake interview with Khabib. So they're like on there as media too, and Dana White is like setting them up for like clips. So he sets him up to interview Justin Gaethje. And they asked Justin Gaethje about they asked Justin Gaethje like, oh, do you abstain from sex while training and shit like that? And he's like, nah. He's like, nah. And he's like, all right, so like, you're in for like a jerk or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. He's like,
wait, they were asking
I don't got no girl with me.
They were asking him that, and he was answering these questions.
He was answering the questions.
Oh my god!
And then he was like, my girl ain't here with me, so I might have to do what I have to do. And then they were like, oh, so they keep pushing the issue. And then Justin Gaethje's like, are you asking for like are you gonna help me with it or something? Like, but bro, when they talk to Khabib, and I don't want to ruin the video, but I'm gonna fucking
fuck that. I think I saw a clip of it. But
they talked to Khabib, and they said that they're like, yeah, I was down in Miami, and Jorge Masvidal like fucked my girl, and so like,
shut the fuck up.
I'm not joking. And
I did not see that.
And they're like, and he tells Khabib, I've been training for like a couple weeks and shit. Like, do you think like anything I could do? And he was like, how old are you? Khabib's like, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 28. He was like, it's too late for you. He was like, you get dog.
He told him, go get a dog.
He said, you need a dog. That's what he told him. I'm not fucking kidding you. Khabib looks at him. He tells him, you got to get a dog. And he was like, but I've been really training my flying knees. I've been waking up and doing like 5 of them a day.
Bro, that's real talk.
He said, you think if I seen like Masvidal like in the club, I could like flying knee and get him? He was like, maybe. He was like, but with dog, better chance.
Like get a dog to sick it on him?
Yeah, like get a dog. Like, if you're going to try to fight him, your odds.
Bring a big ass dog.
Yeah, bring a dog. Because.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And he's probably talking about like one of those Russian bear-sized dogs.
The ones they have in the cages in the prisons and shit on National Geographic Channel.
But yeah.
I can't.
It was a good fight.
Grabbing another one.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Tai Tuivasa, he was the main event on the prelims. Beautiful knockout, excuse me. Beautiful knockout. He got tossed a shoe by one of the Nelk boys after he won to do a shoey, but they're in Abu Dhabi. There was no alcohol. Like
that shit's disgusting.
There. Dude, he has the whole team spit in the shoe before he fills it. He has the whole crew spit in the shoe. They pass it around. This is Tai Tuivasa, the heavyweight, who I wish I could tell you who he knocked out this weekend, but I don't remember the guy's name.
He doesn't remember his own name either.
He doesn't know his name either. He had the whole crew spit in the shoe, and then he poured beer into it, and then he drank it. In his defense, if you're there, you definitely aren't sick.
Wait, this just in. COVID-19 actually came from that filthy fucking shoe. That's actually where it came from. It came from Tai Tuivasa doing shoeies from filthy, sweaty frat boys' sneakers. That's actually where it came from. It wasn't a wet market. It was that fucking shoe. That's disgusting.
I fucking
they all spit in it.
They all spit in it. I follow him on Instagram, bro. He was doing them off of sandals. He was doing them off of everything.
I'm good.
Can we talk? So co-main event, Bobby Knuckles.
Co-main. Yeah, that went just about how I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah. He looks good, man. What does that mean for that? So now what? Who's he gonna fight next?
I mean, he almost has to get another title shot soon.
Yeah, we're talking about Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
Robert Whittaker wins in spectacular fashion. I think he won a decision, but it was a really good fight.
Who else is left in that division? He might have to fight Chimaev.
He's not ranked yet.
Yeah, he's not ranked yet, but he's got the buzz and the hype. You know how that goes.
He's got the buzz, but he's got a fight lined up already.
Because I feel like Robert Whittaker already beat everybody else up.
So listen.
Who else is there left to fight at middleweight?
He might fight him if he wins his next fight.
Who the fuck else is there in the middleweight division? Because when I sit here and I think to myself and we try to figure this out, I always forget somebody else. It's impossible.
Yeah. So the way I see it, like the way I see it planned out is that who's the English dude that fights?
The English dude.
The English dude. He's fighting Chez. He's fighting that guy. He's the one that's gonna fight him next. I think that if he wins that fight, then maybe he'll fight Robert Whitaker because he'll be ranked at that point. Because I want to say he's ranked. What do you got it up?
Yeah. What do you think? All right. So now we're going back to what we think is next for Robert Whitaker. Yeah.
Exactly.
After he beat the shit out of Cannonier.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Robert Whitaker's ranked number 1.
Yes.
In the division behind the champion. Then you got second is Paulo Costa, who at this point Paulo Costa just got a title shot. So I don't know what sense it would make for Robert Whitaker to have to fight him to then move on to a title shot. But that's a possibility. I mean,
that definitely is a possibility.
You might have to take down that fucking Cyclops. You might have to fight that thing, man.
I don't want to see him fight Paulo Costa. That does make a lot of sense, though.
Who else you got? Yoel Romero's ranked 5. Jack Hermanson is ranked 4. Maybe Jack Hermanson. He just had a ridiculous couple of KOs. I think he's up there. Darren Till, which they already fought, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he beat him. Was he? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Derek Brunson, nah, that don't make any sense. Kelvin Gastelum, nah. So it looks to me like it's got to be Paulo Costa.
It's got
to be Paulo Costa. Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't want to see him fight Paulo Costa.
Why? You scared for him?
Yeah.
I think he's wily enough, and he's, I think his movement is good. I think he's good. He's a good counter striker. I mean, what he did to Cannonier, I think might be similar to what he would do to Paulo Costa.
Yeah, but you watch that Cannonier fight in the 3rd round, Cannonier shook him, Whitaker's legs wobbling underneath him.
Yeah, Whitaker's durable, though.
He gets cracked like that from Paulo Costa. He's not, he's one of those guys that gets in the ring and he tries to overwhelm people. And, you've seen it in his fights. The guy can overwhelm people for a long time. Like he's
who? Paulo Costa?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also, I think he's outclassed on the feet by a lot of guys like Robert Whitaker, guys with good side movement, guys with movement like that, good jabs. Those guys work him. Like, look what Israel Adesanya did to him. Like, I think it would be a similar result with Robert Whitaker and Paulo Costa. That's kind of how I feel.
The only difference is then their ability to take a shot.
He fought Yoel Romero twice.
Exactly. And that's why he gets knocked out the way he's been knocked out.
Well, the only one that knocked him out was Israel Adesanya, really.
And
that finished him
out.
Yeah, but he finishes everybody. I mean, he finished Paulo Costa even worse, way sooner.
Do you think that that's a result of him? Do you think that, so when he got starched that way, I said to myself, that's what happens when you fight Yoel Romero 2 times in a row. And, the guy punches you in the head with those bricks. Everybody says the guy hits hard.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody fights Yoel Romero and then they have to get surgery, multiple surgeries.
Yeah.
So, but Israel Adesanya I think that him knocking out Robert Whitaker like that doesn't take away from Robert Whitaker. I think it only just goes to show the superiority of Israel Adesanya, versus everybody.
But that was going to be my question. Do you think that he knocked him out because he fought Israel Adesanya, or do you think he was knocked out from just not being 100% in the fight and, maybe getting a little bit of a switch put in his head from those, those are wars.
Yeah, they're wars, but I mean, he had fights after that. You know what I mean? I don't, that wasn't the last fight he had, was it? No, he had a win. He had a win after that. So
no,
I don't think it was necessarily, that. I think it was more so his head was out of fighting a little bit.
Also, not only that, but he took a really, really long break. He had his struggles that he had this personal stuff he was going through.
Yeah. I don't know what they said something. I think a lot of it was rumors that what was going on with him, but I know his head was kind of out of fighting for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think now he's back and he really put some work in my opinion. I just really think, he's back. He's having fun. He's talking shit in the press conferences and stuff. And it's, I think he's going to be somebody that's really I think he'll put it to Costa if they fight.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight. Today was the press conference for the Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, I don't know how this event is weird to me.
It's super weird. It's it's streamed online, first of all.
Yeah, it's weird.
They got the co-main event consists of a YouTuber and a former NBA player fighting against each other.
They are the co-main event to a Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight.
Isn't that fucking insane when you think about it?
2020. I know a lot of weird shit has happened in 2020, but this might be the fucking weirdest.
Jake Paul is fighting Nate Robinson.
This is weirder than the pandemic.
Every time I say it, I'm like, Nate Robinson, the basketball player?
Yeah.
That's what everybody says. Yeah. And even myself in my head, I'm just like, I didn't really, until I seen Nate talking about it, like on videos, I was like, there's no way he's.
They're straight up, they're going to fight. It's so weird. You see Did you see Jake Paul talking about Nate Robinson?
Did he have a black eye?
Who?
Jake Paul?
I didn't see, but he probably did from sparring.
Yeah, he looked like he had a black eye. It looked like he had an eye jammy.
He should have you should be a little slightly beat up if you're sparring, but you also don't want to, you don't want to get knocked out 3 weeks before a fight.
Yeah.
But he was talking to Nate Robinson in that interview, cracking me up. He was saying that he was a fan of Nate Robinson's and shit, right? Did you hear this?
He told me he bought his jersey.
He said he put his jersey on. He said, I used to love wearing your jersey because I would wear it out and people would it was like exclusive because nobody knew who it was and shit.
He said
nobody knew who you were.
Nobody ever had that jersey.
Because people would be like, no. He said, this is what he said. He said, because people just didn't have them. He's like, people never seen it. That's what he said. They'd be like, yo, I never seen that before. That shit was cracking me up. Nobody's ever seen that jersey, which, and Nate was like, yeah, whatever. Like, so it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be two guys that are going to slug it out. I think Nate Robinson is very unfamiliar with fighting in that type of an environment. Jake Paul has fought and he was very calm in that other fight that I watched him in. So I think he's got a little more experience when it comes to fighting. And I don't think that Nate Robinson is going to be prepared for that adrenaline dump. I think he's just going to go all out and try to put him out in the first couple minutes. And he's going to find out that a fight is very different.
We'll see. It's definitely going to be interesting because, none of them are professional fighters. It's going to be, I think, a matter of, I think Jake's been fighting longer, but I don't know if that really even means anything because Nate's an athlete. He's been training longer. So he might be able to pick things up a little faster. But, Jake's been boxing longer. I think, because Nate didn't have any experience boxing before this.
True. I think it, he's an athlete, but these are very different sports.
I didn't know his dad was an NFL player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate was big he was a big football player too coming up.
Yeah. They mentioned that too. I really don't know anything about basketball, and I don't give a fuck if you feel any certain way about that. I just don't.
Who gives a fuck?
Not you. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah. Who gives
anybody out there? But I just don't know too much about basketball. But it is it is interesting. More interesting than that is the main event. You think they're gonna go out there and fight each other?
What do you think, bro?
I think it's gonna be a
fight. You think Mike Tyson's gonna get hit and he's not gonna throw a hook from fucking Hades?
I think it's gonna be 2 minutes. A 2 minute round. It's 2 minute rounds at 8 rounds.
I don't know how many rounds actually.
I think it's 8 rounds.
2 minutes. That's some bullshit. 2 minutes is not. I don't know why they did that.
It's the commission.
I don't know why they did that. Is that like a loophole where they can only call it an exhibition if it's 2 minutes? But that's bullshit. You got to give them 3 minutes. That's what boxing is.
Did you hear what they were saying about they're like 2 minutes? We're not women. The women fight.
Oh my God! Nah, that's Roy Jones.
Tyson said it first. I heard from the.
Did he?
But I rewatched it.
Who cares? That's true. That's the women's fight. That's the way. That's the way the women's rules were set up.
It's interesting the way they put it, and if something came of that, like somebody was upset about it.
They try to cancel them.
I wouldn't
cancel the fight. Cancel the fight. They said we're not women. Cancel the fight. They are women. So, if we want them to be women, they're women.
I don't think that they're going to be able to cancel them because I don't think that anybody that's affiliated with this production gives a fuck about what anybody else has to say, especially when it comes to what these two guys are saying. Mike Tyson has said way crazy.
I just think they should they should cancel the fight now.
They should just not have it. Right?
The fight should be canceled. I'm starting a petition that's outrageous.
But I thought it was super funny because I heard it and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I wonder if someone's going to have something to say about that.
That's true.
Mike Tyson says, and I don't know if I can't do this. I have to always mention what I'm talking about. Mike Tyson says, I said it, right? He said, oh, they're only fighting for 2 minutes. That's women. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. But it's factual at the same time because that's the way the women's fights used to be, 2 minutes.
Is that the way it's always been or just an exhibition?
I don't really know. And I'm pretty sure about that. This is why we need a fact checker. We're gonna hire somebody.
We're gonna get somebody behind the camera that can always tell us when we're fucking full of shit.
Yeah, when we're full of shit. But that's exactly why you don't come here for fucking medical advice. Don't come here for legal advice.
I don't have any of that.
No. I mean, I'm just trying to hit the nail like fucking sometimes.
Don't repeat anything I say to anybody with confidence that it's correct. You should always repeat things I say in the question form with the question inflection.
Precisely.
Yeah. Mike Tyson said that they're fighting at a woman's side.
Exactly. Or simply follow it with allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly protects you all the time. Yeah. Again, allegedly.
You know what my boy said, and then say what I said.
That's right.
I wanted to talk to you about Cyberpunk 2077. It's a video game that has been like supposed to come out over like all of 2020, and they keep pushing the release date back.
Oh shit, I think I've been seeing stuff about that, but I wasn't really 100% sure of what it was.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, it's like a game of the year contender. It's a first person shooter based in the year 2077. Like really futuristic.
Yeah, I remember now.
Role playing game. Looks super cool. It's kind of like there's a word for this, but like the decisions you make in the game affect like the way the game plays out. I don't know what the fuck that's called. There's a word for it though. But it's been pushed back again.
Is it not ready, or it's some kind of release issue?
They said that now that everybody's working from home, they just didn't have enough time to test certain features. They didn't mention the features, but they said that it's definitely going to come out. I don't want to fucking say the wrong date. November 20th, I want to say.
So that's the new release date?
Yeah. It was supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out in like 2 weeks. Like it was supposed to come out early November. Now they just pushed it back. I'm sorry, they pushed it out to December.
Damn, they're trying to fucking break the internet right before Christmas.
Yeah. That game's people had it pre-ordered for months, probably even longer than that.
And they take your money out before
I don't
it's
have
available?
it pre-ordered. I'm just gonna get it when it comes out. I'm not really.
Man, it's probably easier. Fuck it.
You know, nowadays everything's digital. There's no reason for me to, unless there's an incentive. Like, if the game says, well, you could play the beta or you could play the game 2 days early.
Okay.
Then I'm getting a pre-order, 100%.
Okay, so you'd be able to play the real version early, while other people only have access to the beta.
Yes.
I
would do that. But, or if there's like maybe some skins in the game, like, you know, maybe you could get some special skins you could put on your character. I'm a sucker for like things like that in video games. The games that are free and like you could just pay for certain things, not pay to win, not the games that you could pay to become stronger. I'm not into that. But the games you could get like skins on your character, skins on your gun. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for it.
Like you earn that shit?
You can earn it.
Or you buy it.
You can buy it. And like there's like exclusive ones you could buy, and there's the ones you earn too. So in Call of Duty, there's like different skins you could get on guns or camo.
You can get like Gucci. You can get like Gucci print on your guns.
Like Gucci print, but they have like prints. Obviously, Gucci print would be like some kind of copyright infringement. So
they're so stupid if they're not licensing that. Are you kidding me?
Licensing that.
You know how many people would have Gucci wrap guns running around on it?
When you get like to a certain point and you get like, you know, 150 headshot kills or this or that, you could get the gold gun. Your gun becomes gold.
Oh, so when you're running around with the gold shit, everybody's ducking.
Yes.
Everybody knows what time it is.
But there's above gold. So if you get every single like submachine gun gold,
it's a platinum gun,
then you get platinum.
Damn, how you get the diamond gun?
There's no diamond cheat code. No, there's something called Damascus. And to get Damascus, you have to get every gun gold.
You have to get so you have to get those that many headshots with every gun?
With every gun you have to do it.
Hang on, I got a question.
Yes.
So your gun you can only get the gold version of the gun you hit that many headshots with?
Yes.
Like each one. So let's say I have a 9mm and I get that many headshots with the 9mm, I get the gold 9mm, but I don't have a gold M16 or I don't have a...
Exactly.
I got you.
So you get I'll just use your example. The 9mm gets gold. Then the Desert Eagle gets gold. Then the 357 goes gold. Then this gun goes gold. And then you get all those gold, and then you get platinum in the handguns. and then you go to the machine guns and you go down.
Holy shit! Who has time for that shit? These are like pro gamers and shit that are doing.
People do it. I'm kind of close to it.
Wow. I guess it just either takes a long time or a lot of hours in a shorter amount of time.
They say if you grind every day, you could do it in 3 months. But it's a skill thing too, because
it's very specific task that needs to be performed.
You have like mounted kills, headshots, kills.
Wait, mounted kill like on top of somebody?
You had to mount something and get a kill. And get a kill. So
I thought you meant like jujitsu mount, like you got to mount somebody
on the wall, or you mount on like on a
rooftop or something.
A rooftop or something. Yeah. Okay. Mounted kills, headshots, overall kills. So like 700 overall kills, 150 headshots. Then long range kills, then kills after reloading, and these things aren't all unlocked. As you level up the gun, you unlock the next one and the next one and the next one. So it takes even longer. So it's not you could do them all at once.
Jesus Christ.
It's not easy. Some of the guns are pretty easy, but then when you get to like the rocket launchers and you get to the knife and the shield, and some of those you have to like kill somebody with low health. Kill somebody while you have low health.
Oh, so it's like a resilience. You got to Tony Ferguson somebody. And
so shit. You got to like what some people do is they throw like this. There's an object in the game you can throw against a wall. You throw it against something and it lights on fire. You throw it against the wall, light it on fire, and you walk past it real fast, so you can injure yourself, and then you just go out there and kill somebody, so you could get a kill.
Oh, so there's workarounds. There are ways to like do it a little easier.
Yeah,
it's not like you have to do it while you're like, getting gunned down by 5 guys. You got to like fight your way out.
Yeah, exactly.
You can set up to kind of check these boxes.
Yeah, if you have Damascus in Call of Duty and you didn't buy the account or you didn't cheat your way to get it, then kudos to you.
Wait, buy the account meaning somebody can upgrade their shit to that point. You can achieve all this stuff and then sell your account to someone that wants to shortcut that.
You could get a Damascus account, be like $300 on eBay.
What? God damn, everybody's such a hustler. My mind just exploded.
Yeah. So
you can sit here, you can sit home and just create a bunch of these accounts. You can just dominate and get all gold weapons and sell that account.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you want this username with all of these.
You can change your username when you get it.
So you just sell the account.
Just sell the account. People cheat and then sell those accounts. And then
That's blowing my fucking mind.
Some people do it like, the old fashioned way and grind and get those account and sell their account. But
wow. I know I might sound like the craziest novice. I don't play video games.
No, not a lot of people know that. If you're a casual gamer, then you have no idea. If you're a casual gamer, you might not know that skin exists. You might not even, you might see that skin on people's gun. You might never see it because you're not good enough to be in lobbies with people to have it.
Yeah.
First things first.
Yeah.
There's one after that too.
Wow.
It's called Obsidian and it's completely like it looks like a black diamond kind of look. Like imagine what a black diamond look and it makes your gun into a black diamond.
It's like onyx.
Yes. It's called Obsidian. And that one's the same exact thing.
Wow.
You have to, that's like the next one and you can only get it gun by gun. So there's, how
much would that sell for?
I don't know.
An account with an Obsidian gun.
It depends which ones you have because you have to do them one by one. So if you had every gun Obsidian, I don't know.
Probably talking to G.
Yeah, $900.
Wow.
700 to 900, I would guess.
I guess it's similar to what you can do because I know people have done that with Instagram. You grow a following, whatever, you get verified, and then you can sell the account.
You could buy a verified account?
Yeah. You can buy an account from somebody. At least I think that's the way. That's what you used to be able to do. I don't know if Facebook went and smashed on that. I don't really know. Should we talk about that conference? I mean, that testimony.
What testimony?
The testimony that Mark Zuckerberg and these guys had to do.
Yeah. So I didn't watch it. So you're gonna have to tell me about it.
I watched a little bit of it. I watched like some highlights.
So what was it?
So what it was you're aware of the story, right? There was a story that came out about Joe Biden. Apparently, his son Hunter Biden had dropped off a laptop computer in Delaware at a repair shop, and then he never went back to get it. And there's some kind of policy at the store that if after a certain amount of time, they can wipe your computer and sell it if you never come back, and they can't contact you. So when the guy went into the computer to wipe it, he found a whole bunch of stuff like allegedly incriminating emails, photos, videos, text conversations, things like that regarding some business abroad with some unfavorable folks that they were involved in. That's what these reports are alleging. So it's never been refuted by their family. They haven't denied it, so it's very strange that they haven't. So a lot of people are leaning toward the fact that it's true and the way it was obtained or what have you. A lot of people are thinking that it's true. So being that it was not hacked information, it was actually taken from a hard drive, like physically from the hardware. It's not like somebody accessed his computer or something like that. They say that it should be somewhat more admissible or something like that, because hacked information, when it comes to social media policies, you're not supposed to post that stuff. That's their policy. So that's what they were saying, that this was illegally obtained stuff. So they had to block it. So what they did was they blocked that story from a whole bunch of different people being able to share it. And then if people did share it, they disabled their account, including the New York Post, including the White House press secretary. They did it to quite a few accounts. And so the government made them explain themselves pretty much. So it was just them defending the actions and saying that they need to improve. And
it was the big three?
Yeah, it was the, what is that, Alphabet? The Alphabet company or something, Google.
Mark Zuckerberg.
It was Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. It was Jack Dorsey from Twitter. And then it was that other guy from Google, or that Alphabet company, whatever that is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the parent company of Google.
Okay.
So they all spoke their piece, but like the part that really was crazy was Ted Cruz. That I think he's like he's from Texas. He's a Republican in Texas, and he went in on him, like went absolutely in on Jack Dorsey, like saying that he's like a Democratic puppet pretty much. And so it was real crazy. And then Jack Dorsey was just, defending his point. And my question is, what comes of this? You have these guys, they do all this, but it's not like it's court. It's kind of like publicly shaming them. But then what happens? Like, is there an investigation? Does anybody find out if it was true that they did this for these reasons or not?
That's what I was just going to ask you, is that,
what's the point?
That sounds like somebody called them and was like, hey, what are you guys doing over there? No. We're going to have to talk about this up front. And they called them, and then they showed up somewhere, and then they just questioned them about.
Yeah, it was in front of Congress. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because they had to do it previously. Remember, Mark Zuckerberg had to do it previously about people's privacy.
Yeah. I don't know.
It
is super interesting that I think you got to be able to put everything on there.
Me too. But it was for a long time, I had a perspective that because it's a private company, like that's what I would always say. Like if you work at a business, if you work in a company, if you work at a hospital, if you work at if you work at a Costco, if you work at a supermarket, that's a business. That's a privately owned company. And when you enter that premises, you now forfeit some of your rights that you have in public places. Like, let's say, you can walk around with no shoes on, let's say, in a public park or something like that. Or, but you can't do that in that store. Yes. You have freedom of speech, quote unquote. Like you do have that. You can go out and curse anybody out. You can say whatever you want out in the street. But then once you enter a Costco, you can't behave that way because they'll ask you to leave, just like a job.
Say you can't film in there either.
Yeah, your rights change. So my perspective was always that with these social media companies, that maybe, it is a private company. At the end of the day, you're agreeing to terms and services when you sign up. They make you click that shit nobody reads.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of shit in there that you're agreeing to.
Yes.
So this is a private company. So using that company, I always used to think you should abide by their rules, I guess. But now we're getting to a point where they're suppressing information. They're filtering information because they feel that they should, for whatever reason. I don't want to get into politics and saying that they're leaning left or they're leaning another way, or I don't care about any of that. But the fact that somebody is taking it's like an incredible proportion of humans get their media from Twitter.
Yeah.
So, and from social media. So the fact that they're able to filter that, now we start to get into a weird place.
So do you think they have a moral obligation because of their platform and what it really means? Like, if you think about it, their platform is a pretty liberal, like, say how you feel, write whatever you want to write kind of platform. Do you think that?
But that's not a liberal view. You see, you say it's very liberal. You can do whatever you want. But really, it's kind of the liberal ideas have switched so much so that that's who wants to limit what you can say. You know what I mean? It's weird like that. It's like, because
I definitely believe that they have the ability, that because they're a private company, like you said, like
it's so weird.
They can do it.
And we've never seen it before.
I don't think it's advantageous of them to do it because of their community. And it takes away from something that like we entrusted in them. right? I think as a public, we kind of look at Twitter and Facebook and look at those places like, no, this is where you could put anything over there. You could put borderline anything, on there. And it makes it to like, well, I guess now you can't put anything on there because like they have an agenda.
Yeah, so that's what they were trying to defend in this hearing. Yeah, I mean, it almost seems that way, and it's hard to not see that because, I mean, how come they're getting to choose what's getting posted or not in one way or the other? I mean, technically, I should be able to say something that I feel like saying. I mean, I personally know people who have had posts taken down on Instagram. I've had posts taken down. I'm not going to say what they were writing about, but they posted stuff and it was taken down. Like it was straight up taken down saying that it violated the terms of service, but everything that they had posted was factual. I know that it was factual because I looked up everything they posted and these were facts.
I wonder if they took down, you remember their iCloud leaks, like all the celebrity nudes that hit the internet?
Yeah, like 4chan and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if Twitter was taking all those down because it's equivalent. It's like hacked information that somebody put up.
That's an interesting point.
And I'm sure they were.
Because there's other stuff too. They say that there were, hacked IRS documents and stuff that were leaked, but it was for someone else and they didn't care about it, because maybe it didn't align with who their preference is. That's what what people are saying. So I don't know. It's very strange. These are powerful companies that control the majority of the information that we get. I mean, everything I search for is on Google. Everything.
Yeah, I'll give you that about Google and the way their search engines engineered to feed you the information that it thinks you want.
Yeah.
But that's what we want. Like they make these things and you could choose to use them if the people who are like complain about this, you don't have to use Google as a search engine. There's safer search engines. Look them up. There's search engines that they don't save your information and they just give you, and they're not going to be as good.
But they suck. I tried to use other ones. Like, I mean, at my old job, they used Bing. Bing was awful. That's what was installed on all the PCs. You weren't allowed to install Chrome. It was trash.
This is what I mean. So yeah, does it remember everything you do? Does it watch everything you do? 110% it does. And it learns you and it learns what you like. And if you go to YouTube and you listen to an R. Kelly song and then you go to Google it and you start writing the song and it just autofills the rest of it, it's because it's watching you. But you were looking for that and it does know you and it does feed you what you want. And it's like, it's almost like somebody complaining about the iPhone having like 3 cameras. It's like, don't buy the iPhone, bro. Don't use the Android phones. Or don't Google things. Yeah. Don't use Twitter.
There's other options, but again, that's where the monopoly comes in because are there that many choices?
No, but there are choices.
There are choices, but I mean, yeah, I guess if you'd have to be willing to sacrifice performance for
some people just privacy. Like, it's like, dude, some people rock VPNs and they only use VPNs and like, it looks like they're somewhere out of like, Saudi Arabia.
Do you use VPN?
I don't.
I wanted to. I think I want to start using a VPN.
I do use a VPN.
I don't
use a VPN. I don't want anybody, inquiring about my network status.
I'm thinking about doing it.
It's smart.
Because I mean,
you listen.
It's so weird out there, man.
It is weird out there, but they're not pinging your front door. They're saying you live in X town. They're getting to town.
Nah, they know exactly where I'm at, bro. You know how many things I've ordered, how many things have been shipped,
how
many
feds
Amazon
know where
packages.
You're at, but I'm talking about like if you use a VPN, like that's what it's gonna do. It's just gonna say you're coming from New York, Queens, New York, or if you live on Long Island, it'll say Hempstead, New York. It'll say Roosevelt. It'll say Roosevelt.
It'll just move it to areas that are somewhere in the vicinity, but not exactly.
It'll hit your town. If you're in Bayshore, New York, it'll Bing, Bayshore, New York. You're in Astoria, Bing, Astoria, Queens.
But it'll just be a general, like you're in the town.
General vicinity. It's not. It's like it's not your house.
Okay. I mean.
Listen.
I wanted them to say I'm in like Quebec or some shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know what's cool about VPNs is that you get to see like other countries, the way their internet is. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll give you an example. If you go on Netflix through a French VPN, you're going to get shows that we don't have in America.
I was just actually looking at that on something I saw, actually. I think it was on Twitter.
Yeah, you're gonna get different selection,
completely
of shows.
Different programming, different countries.
Yeah, there's similar shows, but you're gonna get shows that we don't have out here. So that's one cool thing about having a VPN.
That's cool, man. So can you choose where it's saying you are?
Mm-hmm.
So you can always log in and be like German Netflix.
Yeah,
and you'll always have access to that.
Yeah, and you don't have to have a VPN. You could use there's VPNs that work through the browser. So it's a website, and you go to the website, and then from that website, there's like a window in there that you use, like their internal browser. It's an emulation of a VPN onto the browser. But this, like, my point is just that if people are worried about some of these things, like, you're gonna have to give up some of your luxuries too. Like, you like using Twitter because it's convenient. We like using Google because it's convenient. And if you feel like you're being watched or spied on, like, you do your research and, like, don't, and do whatever you have to do. That might mean that you can't use social media. Social media for me, honestly, is kind of like, I don't know why people even think that other people want to hear what the fuck they have to say. One of the reasons why, and that's weird because I'm doing a podcast.
That's exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah, but it's, I guess it's exactly what I'm doing. But I don't say like, oh, today I walked out in the rain. I'm not talking about myself, Well,
yeah, of course. Typically it's the majority of engagement is like sharing other things, stuff like that. Not necessarily saying like, I just had a PB&J.
Maybe I've been doing it wrong because that's what I've been doing. And that's why I think I don't like social media.
What? Because you're just saying like what you do?
Yeah, I just made a sandwich.
Ow.
Is that weird? I put on my
disclaimer. I may have broken a rib last night. I'm not sure. But
he's injured.
Yeah, I'm a little beat up. So this asshole is making me laugh and I'm about to have a fucking pneumo.
No, but I write everything that I do. That's what I used to do.
No, yeah, nobody really cares about that kind of stuff until you're famous. Nobody gives a shit that you just got a Whopper with cheese until you're Travis Scott.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's what I'm saying. That's why, I guess that's why I've lost interest in social media, because it's like, for me, that's like what a majority of it is. The social media I still hold on to.
Yeah.
It's obviously our social media, but also I look at other things. Like, I just look at things. I'm not really putting things into it. So if you were to, this image of me that's on YouTube right now, you could see me here. But other than that, like, you can't really find me anywhere else. Like, I really don't.
I'm going to get them on there.
Post anything else on social media. I don't know. I feel weird about it.
I'm actually really starting to be more intrigued by Twitter. For a long time, I thought Instagram, I was really intrigued by Instagram, but now that I'm using Twitter more, I'm kind of losing interest in Instagram. Like, Twitter, to me, bro, it's so up to date in terms of what's being shared, what's trending, and news and stuff like that. To me, it's the most up to date. Like, it's constantly updating. I find shit out on Twitter sometimes a day before it's on the news, like a day, 2 days before it's on the news, like way before it's on the news. And then you have like a day or, hours, 6-8 hours before it's on, before it's on another news website or something like that.
The only one I feel that way about is Reddit. I'll never stop.
Yeah.
Like, no one's ever going to get me on
Reddit. I love Reddit too.
I love Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit is, you actually taught me about Reddit. I had no idea about Reddit. I didn't understand it. Like, Reddit, if you're not in that world, it's hard to follow. I mean, sometimes you know how long it took me to realize that, like, you're reading the thread and then there's an advertisement for like the next thread or a similar thread, and then that thread continues under it.
Yeah.
Yo, for the longest time, I was like, Reddit fucking sucks. They give me 6 lines and then it's some other shit, because I never went past that. So once you learn the layout and the interface of Reddit,
the way it works,
you find out that, first of all, it's policed by its own community. So there's very little horse shit on there.
Yes.
And it's
100%.
Yeah. Which is really good. You put me onto that. And I didn't know if that was really something that was going to be sustainable or something that was going to be real. Jesus Christ. Reddit is where it's at.
Reddit doesn't even let you post other people's posts. Like, people will come there and come for you. Like, oh, you're just
you're stealing
so-and-so's karma.
Yeah.
It's I love it. I think that I like the news that I get there. I think I get it. It's accurate. I think it comes in quickly, and I think the other stuff that I intake from it, like the funny stuff, or
it's cleverly entertaining. I feel like there's a pocket of people that only deal or mainly deal in Reddit, and they're a higher sophisticated person than the majority of people that deal with typical social media. It's weird. These are smart guys. These are smart people.
Upper echelons of the internet.
It is.
It's like the memes that say, "If you know, you know."
If it's the Oxford of social media online. It's not quite social media, but it is. I mean, the comment. It's a massive comment section.
The comment section is
like
ridiculous.
That, and
I've
it's hilarious.
seen entire like rap songs written in the comment section by like 100 different users.
Like people like collaborating. Like,
somebody will write like, Just Ate an Orange, like I'm off the door hinge, and then they just keep going, and then like they make a song, and like you could read it,
and it rhymes,
and it like, and if you got some rhythm, like I do, you can fucking.
So you've been recording Reddit comment tracks?
Yeah, my track.
Come on, send me some shit.
I'm doing a Christmas album.
Yeah,
I'm doing a holiday album.
Shut the fuck up.
Me and Mariah Carey. Yeah, I'm gonna sing all the verses in her songs, and then she's gonna do mine. It's a holiday role reversal.
Happy Halloween! Shout out Montauk Pumpkin Beer.
Is that a thing? Is that seasonal?
Yes, it's seasonal. It's fucking amazing. This is the best pumpkin beer made.
Is that like pumpkin spice, or is it just like pumpkin beer?
It's a pumpkin ale. I don't know how familiar you are with pumpkin beers. I'm kind of a beer.
They make it out of pumpkin. Or it's like pumpkin flavoring.
It's like pumpkin flavoring. I'm sure. I don't know how much pumpkin is really in there, or if they just sprinkle a little fucking pumpkin dust on there at the end. I don't know. But this is the best one.
That's the best beer?
To me, it's the best pumpkin beer, period. And this is Montauk, Long Island, mind you.
Yeah.
This is Montauk. This is out east. This is a brewery on Long Island. So shout out. But I love it, man. Typically, I drink it like a basic bitch in a glass with a sugar rim and shit. I put honey on the rim of the glass and then brown sugar and cinnamon on the rim of the glass, and then I pour it in.
I seen somebody the other day with some...
Fuck anybody that thinks that's lame.
I seen somebody the other day with some slimy shit. Like, it was like melted Gushers. And
ew.
They put them like on the rim of the beer. Oh, they put them on White Claws. And they were like, yo, this is like some Cali shit. Like,
melted Gushers?
That's what they said. That's what they said it tasted like.
It's fucking disgusting.
I didn't taste it, but
some fucking waxy sludge.
Yeah, it was gross. It looked gross.
Ugh. Nah, I drank a couple of these after I fucked my ribs up. Fix me right up.
I heard the Montauk. I heard they were really good. I heard that they have a higher alcohol content.
Well, pumpkin beers typically have a pretty high. This is a 5.7.
What's a regular beer?
Like a 4.
Okay.
3.5. But 1 to 2, 3% higher is significant.
Yes.
Like there's some beers like that there's some pumpkin beers that have like 8% alcohol. That shit'll fuck you up. Like
what's a platinum have?
Bud Light Platinum?
Yeah.
That's a lager. I think it's like 4.5 or something like that. 4.
That one has more than that?
It says 5.7.
God.
You got to be careful with these brewery beers. Me and my girl, we went to a wedding and of friends of ours at this place. I think it was like Connecticut or something like that. It was a brewery. And they had beers on tap without the alcohol percentage listed.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
So, dude, this is a brewery. When this is like your own brewery, you can brew whatever the fuck you want. This isn't going to Stop and Shop or Costco and picking out beers that they have available.
There's no FDA approval.
These dudes are making their own shit. They're like, oh, try this new shit we just made. It's an oatmeal stout. It's fucking 9% alcohol. So people were just drinking these beers on tap and people just started getting shitty.
Oh my God.
And it's like, and
it's a wedding in a brewery?
Yeah, it's so cool. It was so cool. It was like it was a real nice brewery. It wasn't like
it
was nice. Yeah, it was nice.
In a barn?
Man.
That's what I envisioned.
No, it wasn't a barn. It was like it was like all industrial looking inside.
Okay.
So it was very contemporary.
Okay.
It was nice
though. Way
to
put it.
Yeah, it was nice though. You know how places are now? It's like all cool to have the shit unfinished. Yeah. In New York and Long Island, at least, it's like it's fucking freezing in every place because it's
steel
ceilings and rafters and open walls and shit. And it's like, your burger's delicious, but I'm freezing my balls off. Like, turn the fucking heat up or some shit. Like,
what's gonna happen in New York right now? with all the eating outside. So for those who don't know, who don't live in New York, there's a lot of eating outside, which I'm sure wherever you live,
because of the pandemic. You mean the pandemic, or you mean generally?
Because of the pandemic.
Okay.
A lot of restaurants have outdoor seating.
Yes.
Unless you live in Florida or like Texas or something like that.
They are seating people inside as well in New York.
Yeah, but there's limited seating inside because they have certain restrictions they have to abide by.
Yeah. You have to walk around with a mask on, but once you sit down, you can take it off.
Yeah, ridiculous. But what do you think is going to happen now? It's getting fucking cold.
In terms of the outdoor seating?
Yeah. You're not going to sit out. Well, they're not going to have it.
Yeah, they're not. I think what they're going to do is go probably to a reduced capacity indoors. And they have these outdoor heaters that are pretty significant. I mean,
the outdoor heaters are really
good. They're good. But, so I don't think people are going to elect to just be sitting outside on the sidewalk and, eating their steak in December. Like, I don't really think that's going to be a thing. So I think they're probably going to do reduced capacity inside.
Yeah.
And then end up doing a lot more takeout.
I wonder how that affects the restaurant market. Like, obviously they can only intake. Now they're going to intake less.
It's crushing them because they still have to pay 100% of their bills.
Yeah.
They still have to pay 100% of the person that they're leasing the property from.
Yeah. So what happens now? Do some of them survive and some of them don't? And we go through this phase again now?
A ton of them are closing. A lot of businesses have closed. A lot of businesses
are closed in general, but I wonder what's going to happen to the ones that are surviving right now who are, counting on. There's a diner not too far from here that outdoor seating is enormous.
Yeah.
But it's weird because they have a tent. And I wonder now that I'm thinking about it, if that's really outdoors because you're in the tent.
Yeah, they might just be doing it with a similar seating arrangement as they do indoors just to give themselves more space. So now if they double the size of the inside, now they can theoretically operate at 100% capacity. If you have to operate at 50% capacity, but then you double your space, now you're back to 100%. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can space everybody out evenly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something I would be trying to do if I had a business, if I had a restaurant. First thing I'm doing is trying to accommodate outdoor seating as much as possible, especially with, like you said, the winter coming up. So who knows what that's going to bring. I would have been trying to double revenue the last few months prior to the winter. If I can expand my outdoor seating, sit everybody I fucking can, offer, delivery specials. It's sad that it's, they're like treading water right now, trying to keep shit going because of this fucking thing, man.
It's a tough time to be a business owner right now.
Sucks, man. It's like, I mean, some businesses work. I mean, some businesses are thriving here.
To be like a local, like mom and pop shop or operation.
Yeah. That requires entry to your store. Like if you're a bakery or something like that.
Even if you're not a bakery, like people just aren't doing things in general. Like stores in general. I think that if you retail.
Yeah. Movie theaters. A lot of movie theaters closed.
Dude, the movie theaters are all closing.
Yeah.
And they're holding the movies up too.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I was listening to this the other day on a podcast and they were talking about how some movies aren't coming out now and actors are starting to get upset because their movies aren't coming out and, they're not getting that box office money.
Oh, and they're also not going to be in the running for like Oscars or anything or any awards.
Yeah.
Because if your work isn't released, you get no accolades and, you need some of that. You need to stroke that ego a little bit to keep on. To keep with that, that business.
They say Disney's Mulan didn't do that great. That was one of those like digital releases. I didn't think the movie was that good, so I didn't think it had anything to do with it.
You watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you put it on your?
Yeah, it's on there.
Yo, for some reason I couldn't get on the Plex the other day. I still use that shit.
Yeah, everybody should use it. I pay monthly for like this digital. There's a media server.
You pay monthly for that?
Yeah, I pay for
Damn,
that.
I throw you some money for that.
You don't have to throw me any money. I'll explain it. So there's a
bro. I've been using that shit for mad long.
There's a hosting service that will host your media for you in like a cloud-based server. No, it's not a cloud-based server. It hosts it off your machine, and it's called Plex. I'm sure there's other companies. You can use Plex if you want, and you could host your files.
I really like Plex. I got to tell you.
You could host your files so your friends could watch your movies, or you could host them so that when you go on vacation, you could watch them. If you go on vacation to watch movies and that's your thing, you could do that.
It's so cool because you can share it with people because he has a library. He has his PC because he collects a lot of media, and when he puts it on there and makes it available on Plex, I have access to it remotely. You know, so I can actually watch some movies. If he recommends a movie or something like that, he can tell me like, hey, I just put this movie on here, and then we can share media and share ideas like back and forth. I can just watch a movie and then we can talk about it or whatever.
You could sync up too and watch a movie at the same time. The reason I got it is because when my girl was away at school, I wanted to like watch movies together, and I also wanted to like, she wanted to watch things too. And when she was home, like I had every movie. So like being away, not having that, I was like, I gotta figure out a way to get movies to watch with her.
Yeah.
Or for she could watch.
Yeah, for sure.
And now there's a feature so that you could sync up. So like me and you are watching the same movie, we could sync up so we're watching at the same exact time.
And then you could like FaceTime or something.
And then you could throw the FaceTime on the phone.
That's dope.
You know?
That's cool.
So long distance relationships are even easier than they were before now.
Yeah, but too bad everybody's getting catfished.
Oh my God, bro.
Like, oh, my FaceTime camera's broken.
It's also now is also the time where catfishing is at its all-time high because of technology.
Yeah.
You can make yourself look any way. Like some of these filters and shit and just like overlays you could put on yourself, you could have yourself out here looking like a bad bitch.
It's fucking terrifying.
As if makeup
terrifying.
Isn't already a crazy enough concept.
No.
Makeup is a crazy concept if you really think about it.
YouTube is changing the game. My girl watches these makeup tutorials and shit. Yo, it's fascinating to me. I'll sit down and I'll realize that I just watched a 20-minute video with her. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like blown away by this shit. They take this shit, they make lines here, make lines here, and then they use this little teardrop thing, and they do all
start
this.
Smudging it. Yeah. I can contour.
Yeah, it was like,
I think I could.
I wanted to try it. I'm like, I want to try this on somebody. I think I could do this shit.
I could give myself the craziest jawline.
Yeah, bro, you make shit chisel like
chisel.
You'd be like Maleficent,
bro. I would look like an action figure. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? I look like a fucking action figure. Some of these people are so good at their job. They're just so good at applying makeup and understanding the way like the face works. But at the same time, I said this once, some of these people, they go through the same process clowns go through before they hit the stage.
Bro, you're not kidding.
They're really putting it on.
You ever see somebody at work that comes in with their makeup on point every single day?
That's work.
And I'm like, you woke up at 4 a.m. Absolutely, hands down. I'm so glad that I don't have to do that kind of shit. Thank you for whatever kind of double standard there was that one day somebody decided that we're not the ones that wear makeup. We're not the ones that have to shave our whole bodies. We're, because thank God.
I think that we're also just don't give a fuck a lot more when it comes to some of those things. Like we're just like,
Yeah, but where'd that come from? Is that in us? Or was that like social conditioning that made us like,
lazy?
Fucking, could have a little dirt. Just get a little fucking rub a little dirt in it. Fucking good.
Oh man, that is true.
What is that?
Wonder.
Did you one day all kids don't give a fuck.
There's been geisha girls for a long time. If you think about like in Asia, like China, they've had like the geisha dolls.
What's that, like all delicate and shit?
They're
and
the ones that
with the white paint.
That's some racist shit.
Is it? I don't know what it is.
100%.
Yeah, what's the history of that? Why do they do that?
It's
do you
like
know?
the fairest skin.
Oh, that's what it was about?
I don't know if it was like someone's gonna be like, no, dickheads, because they only had one color.
Again, disclaimer.
I don't know if this is fucking true.
Couple of fucking idiots. Masters of none means we don't know shit.
I don't know if this is fucking true, but I heard my man
allegedly
told me that it was like they used to like the girls with the fairest skin, and it's like some of the geisha girls were like super pale, red lipstick that she used to pop,
and like the shrunken feet. Like,
my God, that's another. Talk about vanity. They used to put their.
It's like bonsai feet.
You should box their feet out.
The bonsai
so
feet.
So they can't grow. That's right? Very funny. Yeah.
I imagine. I mean, shit.
I don't know. But yeah, so they had makeup back then. But I don't. Makeup, the whole I keep saying the concept, but it is like the concept of makeup is kind of fucking crazy. We're just out here tricking each other.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing.
You ever wore a white sweater and get hugged by a woman with like an older woman?
Yes.
With like a bunch of makeup.
And their face literally transfers to your shoulder.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's like silly putty with the fucking
newspaper. It looks like
newspaper.
Somebody threw a Snickers at you and it just bounced off of you.
It was sitting in their pocket first before they threw it at you.
They had a Snickers in their hot ass car and they threw it at you. No, makeup is insane.
Yeah, it's a fucking weird thing.
What else you got, man? What I know you came with some topics. I don't want to talk you. I don't want to talk you to death.
Nah, you're good, bro. Just take us down, whatever.
Not to take you where you wanted to go.
Nah, fuck that, man. I'm open to go wherever, dude.
Okay.
I mean, what's up with that Gegard Mousasi Douglas Lima fight today?
That it should be. Is it tonight? Right?
Yeah, it's tonight. It's Bellator.
Bellator's got good fights. I don't understand their platform and how do you watch the Bellator fights? Where do you watch them?
It's on CBS tonight.
Is it on CBS tonight?
Yeah,
they have
TV.
An application though, right?
I don't know if they still do that DAZN thing or not. I think a lot of times they're on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
On CBS?
Yeah, they're on CBS tonight.
Okay.
And those are two killers, man. I think Douglas Lima would do his thing in the UFC, and Gegard Mousasi already did his thing in the UFC.
I can't believe I did that again, and I put my fucking phone.
I can. I can believe it.
I did that twice.
It happens, bro. This is live, son. That's what it's about.
I'm not upset with myself the way I was upset with myself with the audio error from the beginning. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for that tattoo butter, son.
Oh,
damn! I wish I had the name. I wanted to talk about it. I just a friend of mine gave me this tattoo butter. It's I don't remember the goddamn name.
Justin shows up today with this witchcraft in his fucking pocket. And
it's magic.
In a tin, it looked like dip.
It looked like tobacco.
Yeah, it looked like backy, and he had it in his. He had it, and he pulls it out, and I'm like, "What is that?" And it's some cream, and you probably can't see it from there. Or you can see Justin's tattoos.
It's unbelievable. So it's this little tin, and it's got this cream in it. It's like it's some kind of tattoo butter. It's some organic tattoo butter. So somebody gave it to me, and she's like, "I put this on my tattoos. It's I don't know, it just does something to them, makes them pop." So I put this on my tattoos, and for some reason, I swear it made them look like the day I got them.
It's insane.
It made them like just, it made them just, the contrast popped, the color popped, just everything about it. Like the blacks got more black. I feel like I turned the contrast up on a photo.
It really did. It did work. I put it on, and I was like, wow, this looks, it does. If you don't have tattoos go from like, the day you get them is like the best they look.
Yeah.
They look amazing the day you get
then they get fucked up a little bit, and then they look good again.
Yeah, then they look like terrible for a week or so, depending on who tattooed you and how fucking gnarly they.
You shouldn't be scabbing too crazy. If you're scabbing crazy, your tattoo artist probably caused a little too much trauma.
But they do. They don't end up being like solid black. It's not really like a black.
Yeah, it's natural that it's only natural that it's gonna slightly fade. So something like this just really helped. You feel like it made a difference on yours?
Yeah, I like it. I love what it does to color.
Yeah,
I love what it does to color. It makes the blackers look. It makes the blackers look blacker. It makes the blacks look blacker. I want to talk about the Kanye interview, the Joe Rogan Kanye podcast.
Okay, yeah.
They were supposed to do it a while ago. I want to say maybe a year or so ago.
Yeah, they talked about it. I mean, it's only inevitable that those two are going to collide at some point.
Yeah, but now it's more like, it feels like he's doing it more like he's on his election tour. What do they call that?
Like a campaign trail?
Yeah, he's on his campaign trail.
He's not even getting close to getting elected. No fucking way.
That's the way it felt like when he was there. Like he was talking about what he could do. First of all, he was talking about everything.
That man has some clinical signs that there's something going on somewhere. He's got like flight of ideas. He's got almost word salad. Like these are real things. Like he is so scattered, and he's from one point to the next. And as far as I know, I think he's sober, right?
Yeah.
I think he's just so straight edge, because he doesn't like to be altered at all, because it shifts his creativity, I'm sure.
Yeah, he had me tripping with the fluoride thing. He said there's fluoride in toothpaste and that the fluoride blocks your pineal gland.
There's also fluoride in the water. In tap water.
Well, that's what's fucking with our interruption with Christ. That's why I'm not closer than I should be with him.
I think fluoride is also what prevents, Americans' teeth from looking like you're from England.
So I was just you fucking said it. You son of a bitch. I was just gonna say, do they not have that in Europe?
No. Like it's a thing. That's what they say they added to the water. I don't fucking know. But all I know is when I started drinking bottled water as I got a little bit older, that's when I started to get my first cavities. I don't know if that correlates. I don't know if I just got, I don't know if that's a coincidence. But that's that's something that I've kind of come to the conclusion of.
I don't have any cavities.
Yeah. Good for you, man.
Never had one.
Good for you. I've had quite a few. I think like 5, something like that. Yeah.
I have a terrible back though. Like my alignment's fucked up.
Yeah, like scoliosis?
Scoliosis.
You have curvature of the spine?
What?
Really?
Boy, I got a hook in it. I got a kink in my shit.
You mean like
it comes
like lateral curvature?
It comes down and then it whoop.
Okay.
I'm like a degree away from the brace.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How long ago did you have that diagnosed?
When I was a child in school, they caught it.
Really? Yeah. At the nurse's office when they make you like bend
over.
Yeah. Damn, I remember that. They used to make us line up.
They run it up your back, and she was like, "Whoa, you got a hook."
We're hooking her far right.
She's like, "Yeah, you got a hook on you."
You almost made a U-turn here, boy.
I was confused because we weren't even at that part in the fucking examination, and she's seen the hook already, and then she said,
"You had your shirt on still," and she was like, "Motherfucker, look twisted."
No, I was normally they talk about the hook when I get checked for when I do the cough. What is that? Normally
they check you for a hernia.
Yeah, normally they find the hook when they check me for a hernia, but she did it when she was checking my back, which I thought was really interesting.
You're a piece of shit.
So
my fucking ribs, you motherfucker.
So anyway, so she's like, you gotta go to the doctors. They call my mother. We go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, yeah, your back's fucked up. Like, you gotta fix this. I have terrible posture, and I think that's where it derives from. That's
everybody has terrible. If you have perfect posture, I don't trust you.
I want to get the straps you put under your shirt.
Yo, bro, I saw that shit on Instagram. I think they gave me like an advertisement.
Yeah.
Right around here. I was like, they must be looking at my photos and seeing
my God. When I see it when I rewatch the podcast, I'm like, Jesus. I feel like sometimes I look at other people, I'm like, oh, you're pretty tall. And I think that you're tall, but they're only tall because I'm always slouched over.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a different height.
Yeah, when I stand up straight, I'm actually 6'3". That's my problem.
Yeah,
I'm only 5'9" when I'm not standing up straight.
Are you 5? Is that your height? 5'9"?
I'm actually 5'10". I round up. I'm like 5'9 3/4".
Okay,
so I'm 5'10".
Yeah, that's basically 5'10".
So then when I stand up straight,
I love those.
I'm really 6'2".
Yeah, I love those Instagram posts when the girls are like, must be educated, must be 6 foot tall, must be this, must be that, and I'm just like, what? There's the population of people who are that tall, like in the States.
Yeah, it's
not that high.
No, it's not that high.
Yeah,
it's not that high. You better go sit courtside.
Yeah, you're fucking.
Like, is that shit?
Yeah, you're
you know,
fucking up.
Yeah, cut that out, man. Cut that out. And come on, man. There's fun guys that are not 6 feet tall. I know you're 6 feet tall. Fuck you.
I'm 6 foot even. And you know what?
What?
Because I'm so hunched over.
I might give a digit.
Yeah.
To that 6, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
What
do you think? Could I pull that off? Am I still stunting with this?
You got to lose one finger. Which one's it going to be?
Of course, it's going to be this fucker down here.
Pinky, definitely.
What are you gonna choose? Your thumb?
No. Yeah, I guess
that's pinky. What makes us literally human.
Yeah.
Some about our brain too, but mainly our thumbs.
Yeah, our ability to do this because we could.
Yeah, exactly. That opposable thumb changed the game.
I knew a mechanic with no thumbs that was killer.
No way. I don't believe you.
He had a missing thumb.
I don't believe you.
He had a missing thumb. 100%.
How? One missing thumb.
One missing thumb.
Okay, you said missing thumbs.
Excuse me.
I said he's not working a ratchet.
He had one missing thumb, and he had a tongue that was too big for his mouth, so he could never fully close his mouth. He was always.
So he was like a pug.
Yeah,
he was like that.
He was a Puerto Rican guy.
Mi gente.
Yeah, Puerto Rican. He was my dad's guy. He was my dad's buddy. His tongue was enormous. I think his name was Manny. My dad used to always take his car there, and he's like, "Oh, this fucking guy, man, he's a fucking crook."
Okay.
And I go, man, oh, his tongue was huge. One thumb, and he would like comb his hair
with his 4 fingers.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. I never knew how he lost it. When you see somebody with missing
finger, you try to put the story together.
Yeah, you're always in my mind. I'm like, how'd you lose that thing?
Yeah, bro.
I wonder.
I'm telling you, man. It's I had a neighbor one time. He told us the story. He had it's funny. He used to take us. What I always remember about him is he used to take me, my sister, and my parents. He was my neighbor. His name was Jose, right? He had this old school Chevy Impala.
Mm-hmm.
He used to oil the seats. Leather, yo. He used to condition the leather like fucking daily.
Yeah.
And all I remember, he used to take us to Friendly's. He used to take us out to Friendly's.
Everybody, the whole family?
Everybody. He used to take all of us to Friendly's. Like, he loved us. Like, he loved my parents and shit like that. And he was like, I don't know. He was just the nicest guy ever. And he would just take us all. And he didn't like have family. He was here by himself and stuff. Probably a fucking weirdo. He was probably some kind of creep. And, you know, we lucked out and he didn't sell us into fucking sex slavery or some shit.
Yeah.
So, but he was a very nice guy. So he used to make these turns in the car and we just used to all slide to the other side of the car because everything was so slick. It was like fucking, yo, the seats, I swear to God, yo, it was like they were covered in soap. I swear to God, I would just slide to the other side, bro. I had to lock the door, make sure I didn't fucking bust out that shit on the highway.
There was just fucking like ice skating on ice.
For real, bro, and not even kidding. But the reason I brought him up is I remember the first time I saw him go to pay the waiter, and he took out his wallet and he was like this, and he was like, and he was missing these two middle fingers, like he was like Spider-Man and like for life, you know what I'm saying? So, and then one day he told us the story of how it happened. He said he was using a table saw in front of his crib. And he was cutting wood, and he said he wasn't really paying attention because he had been doing it all day. You know, you get like fatigue, I'm sure. Like you know, once you get complacent with a task, you're just like,
you have the muscle memory.
Yeah, and you think you just go about your day and you forget that fucking thing will take your goddamn arm off. So he said he was cutting the wood, and then he just heard like a slapping sound. He said he heard like a slapping like that, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then he saw like red everywhere, and he was like, he said it didn't even occur to him that he had cut himself. He's like, I was thinking to myself, I'm not even painting. Like, I didn't get any red paint. Like, that's what he was thinking. Like, I'm not painting.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said, he was like, estaba pensando que yo no compré pintura ni nada. ¿De dónde vino todo esta? You know, and he's like, where did this paint come from? And then he said he looked at his hand and he was bleeding everywhere. And then he started to feel it when he saw it. And he was like, what? And he looked at his fingers were on the grass, bro, in the yard, son.
You can put those puppies on the back now, right?
I mean, sometimes. I mean, they're going to be there. They're going to look like they got chopped off and reattached.
Yeah, they're not going to get full mobility.
You're not throwing a splitter with that fucking... that's for sure, bro. Absolutely not. You're not throwing a nasty four-finger fucking... You're not throwing no four-seam fastball with that bitch. That's for sure, bro. Fuck. No fucking way. Son.
Jesus.
No way.
I want all my fucking fingers.
Yeah, bro.
Take one of my toes.
Yeah.
Remember that movie with the guy who said that he lost all his inner toes, but it actually helped him golf because he could actually, you know, really swing through the ball.
Who the fuck said that?
I don't remember.
Is that Happy Gilmore or some shit?
He was missing all the inner toes. He only had the big toe and the pinky toe.
So he was like a Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, it really helped prove this swing, though. He could really shoot through the ball.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. I don't even know what movie you're talking about, but I got to find out.
I wouldn't want to lose.
It's like Badger Vance.
Fingers. I don't like, I'm not into that gory shit, man.
What gory shit?
I don't like.
Hearing that story?
Yeah.
It
got me.
Oh man, I've seen some wild shit.
I remember I used to be, I said last time that I was a housekeeper in a hospital, right? I've already announced that. I used to be a housekeeper in a hospital. And
you see some wild shit there.
Oh my God. I remember some dude walking into the ED with his arm in a bag because he blew his arm off on 4th of July.
Yo, that kind of stuff happens, man. I mean, it's terrible. It's scary. I see stuff online about that kind of shit. People fucking really getting hurt, man. You know, and it's fucking terrifying, man.
People hurt themselves especially like on holidays like that, like the 4th of July. I wonder what the percentage is on 4th of July versus like, you know, all the other days out of the year. Like how many more people are blowing their hands up?
Well, if you're talking about like explosives, I'm sure 4th of July is number one. But if you're talking about like injuries and catastrophic injuries, I'm thinking more like drinking and car accidents. I'm thinking more like
those are terrible.
I'm thinking more like New Year's. I'm thinking more like
does that happen more on New Year's still?
Oh yeah, bro. I used to volunteer on an ambulance, man.
It doesn't even make any sense to me that people still drink and drive.
Bro, so many people drink and drive. You have no idea. So many people drink and drive.
And that, you know what else is crazy to me too?
What's that?
People drink and drive and people still smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, people still
thought
smoke.
that would be a thing. If you casually smoke a cigarette, I ain't got nothing against you. It's no big deal. Even if you smoke cigarettes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's your own thing. But you think we'd be smarter by this point.
You know it kills people, right?
Yeah. I mean, shit, look, I'm drinking a beer. The worst withdrawals
from alcohol
I have ever seen
Yeah.
Everybody, just a quick disclaimer. Now I drink. I partake in having some beers from time to time. When I tell people, everybody is always worried about the opioid epidemic. They're always worried about heroin. They're always worried about Oxycontin, oxycodone. They're always worried about this stuff. Percocet, what have you. What people really need to focus on and pay attention to is alcohol. Everybody talks about opioids, but look in your family. Anybody listening to this, myself included, look at your family, look at people close to you, look at your friends. The majority of people that have a substance abuse problem are going to be drinking. Now, when you see the withdrawals of a person drinking, like, I don't want to get too serious right now, but when you see the withdrawals and the things that happen to a person that stops drinking when they drink a lot, it's unbelievable.
I'm pretty sure it's one of the only ones you could die from withdrawal. What does it do to your brain? Because there's like a thing, there's a word for it. It's like a medical word for it. What it does to your brain, where even
hepatic encephalopathy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or wet brain.
What is it?
It's when you've abused your liver and damaged your liver to a point that you have cirrhosis of the liver and things like that, where your liver is very damaged. So it's not doing what it's supposed to, filtering toxins, things like that. So what happens is that stuff continues to remain in your blood. So it essentially goes to your brain and damages your brain.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So it's almost like, you can kind of compare it to, like, I don't know, like
being punch drunk,
like pissing into your brain.
Oh,
you can kind of think of it that way if you want to think of it a real layman, a real basic type of way. But that's essentially what happens over time. And it just causes confusion. It causes balance issues. It causes, it almost resembles like stroke-like behavior and stuff like that. You have seizures. People are constantly, deficient of electrolytes and stuff like that. Sodium is low, which causes seizures and things like that. It's like, people think that these things aren't a big deal. This is legitimate. Legitimate tremors. You're talking full-blown seizures, auditory hallucinations. Auditory hallucinations when you stop drinking, when you drink all the time. When you're an alcoholic and you stop drinking cold turkey, you will experience crazy things. Visual hallucinations, auditory hallucinations. You hear things. You see things. That's fucking terrifying.
That's terrifying.
And people talk about opioids all the time. I know opioids very important. I don't know if you saw Purdue Pharma. Did you see them?
Yeah.
That's one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world.
Yep.
They just pled guilty.
And it's interesting because when it comes to those laws against some of these pills, like, you can restructure and like recreate a super similar pill, just like they make synthetic everything, right? They just recreate that combination of molecules or a combination like that breakdown. Right?
Exactly.
They recreate it in like a synthetic form, or they just change a single molecule to, something else, and it has a similar effect. And that's what they say might just end up happening with, a lot of those medications. But it's weird because now that's going to be regulated by the government now, right?
What?
The
pharmaceutical industry? I'm not sure if it got to
the Purdue thing.
Okay, I don't know if it got to that point, but I think there needs to be some kind of regulation.
100%. We're putting stuff out there, and I'll finish that sentence. We're putting stuff out there that's really putting people in harm's way. But it goes back to what brought us into this conversation was the cigarettes, like the tobacco and alcohol industry. Like, not so much the alcohol industry. I have nothing against it, but smoking cigarettes really doesn't really even do anything for you. Like, it doesn't. The idea of it to me.
It's a stimulant. Nicotine is a stimulant, but there's other ways you can take nicotine in.
But nicotine is not. That's
not cigarettes.
Not cigarettes.
Yeah.
So
because there's other things in there.
Nicotine has medicinal purposes too.
Yeah, I'm sure that it came from some kind of medicinal background. I don't know exactly where it came from.
Nicotine, people say you take nicotine before an exam because it helps you concentrate. It is a stimulant.
Yeah, it's a
similar
stimulant
to caffeine.
Yeah.
There's medicinal purposes in nicotine.
And it's productive. So nobody's going to ever stop you. And it's so addictive that if you want extra breaks throughout your workday,
getting coffee is the way to do it.
Getting coffee or having a cigarette.
Yeah, or having a cigarette.
That's just like I've seen it a million times in a whole bunch of different jobs I've had where the manager will literally go out with the staff. You want extra breaks? If you have a manager that smokes, just go ask them if they want to have a cigarette.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't look at it. I'm not saying like, oh, it's gross. It's a disgusting habit. I just think it's interesting that we know like it's not just like it's maybe bad for you or it's kind of bad for you. It's like legit.
Yeah. There's weird stuff like that though. I mean, cold cuts were placed in the same category of a carcinogen as smoking.
What?
Yes. Cold cuts were because of the nitrates and all kinds of shit that they have in there. I still have like a salami sandwich once a week.
Yeah.
So,
no. If cold cuts are just as dangerous as cigarettes.
That's what they say. But I don't know. I feel like that's propaganda to a certain degree because, we've had cold cuts forever. There's been salami around since. I can guarantee you find a salami if you went to some fucking Viking village back in God knows where. That was probably
some kind of cured, dry,
salty ass cured meat. Yeah, that's been around for fucking centuries. So I don't know. It's weird, but I'll eat a fucking salami sandwich. I'm gonna have some pepperoni on my pizza. Sorry, that's just how I get down.
If you find me outside of a nightclub on a vacation day, I might, and you offer me a cigarette, maybe I might smoke your cigarette. But I just don't do it every day because that's not something that like I'm worried about. When I think it's like one of those things. It's like everything in moderation.
Yeah, I think I've had a cigarette or two in my life. I think one time my girl and I we were drinking and shit, and then found ourselves just smoking a couple of cigarettes out on like some fucking like back porch at some bar with some hipsters and shit. I was like, oh, cool. What are you drinking? Cool. What does it taste like? Cool perfume. Yeah, cool. Yeah, drink that up. Got a light? Like,
yeah. It's I understand it for like the casual users. It's like, but the 2 packs a day guys, it's like, fuck me.
Yeah, man. That that just becomes like habitual and it's just it gets to a point where every time you do a specific task, you associate it with having a cigarette. Yeah, you get in the car, you light a cigarette,
and it's addictive too. So I can't. Yeah. I gotta be.
It is addictive, and it's intended to be addictive.
Yes,
intentionally. So
that's crazy. It's another crazy part.
Like there are literally scientists sitting around figuring out and testing how to make you more addicted.
So I guess in hindsight, now that I've expressed all this, my thought is not that cigarettes themselves are crazy. It's crazy that we sell them. Like it's crazy that they're legal. It's not.
And it's crazy that they doubled the cost and nobody quit.
Yeah. That's the part that's crazy.
It's $13 for a pack of Newports in New York. $13 for a pack of Newports. Right now think about these people that smoke 2 packs a day. That's $26 a day. You know what that is?
That's crazy.
$26 a day. Let's make it easy for argument's sake. $25. That's unreasonable. That's $100 in 4 days.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
175 in a week.
That's unbelievable. Think about how much money that is. Are you kidding me? That's my fucking cable bill, $175 a month.
Dude, you know what kind of a car you could drive?
Bro, you drive a Mercedes with that.
Yeah.
You could pay my Jeep payment. You could pay that shit.
Damn, that's so much money.
Yeah, man.
That's the crazy part to me, that they're legal.
Yeah, but big tobacco is a huge part of not only the American economy, the global economy.
We're not smarter than that, though. We're not smarter than that at this point.
Well, we were dumb enough to make so much of our economy depend on such an item. So now at this point, we can't let it go.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Like imagine they just abolished certain industries like pornography. They just decided to abolish industries.
Let's not get fucking crazy.
I'm just making an example. You got tobacco, you got that, you got firearms, you got all these things that people like to complain about. But it's like, go ahead and take one of those off the table. That's going to shake up the fucking world.
Maybe don't take it off the table. But you got other ones you take off the table.
Like what?
Anything.
They're not going to be as big as those. Those are massive, massive.
Perfect example. I'll give you 3, right? Cocaine's illegal.
Yes.
Marijuana's illegal.
Kind of.
Federally.
Yes.
And then we got psychedelics, right?
Yes. That are illegal across the board.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'll give you cocaine. You could keep cocaine illegal. I don't really care.
Keep it illegal? Yeah, so you want to make psychedelics and marijuana legal?
No, I'm not saying I want to make them legal. What I'm saying is that if I your
for this example, I mean,
yeah. What I'm saying is that for your point, you said that like, well, cigarettes are illegal, and I thought to myself, okay, you know what? People should be. You said it's a huge industry, and the truth is that we should
massive. We should $1 trillion, I think.
We should allow people to make their own decisions. So
again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but
it's huge.
It's very big.
The tobacco industry is huge. So what I'm saying is that we should allow people to do whatever they want to do, right? If you want to do this, you could do this. So what I was getting to is that maybe we should make the other things legal then. And there's medicinal purposes for psychedelics and marijuana. And I'm sure there's some kind of medicinal purpose for cocaine. Or what's like the base of heroin? It's really
opium, like poppy seeds, poppy plants.
Exactly. But it starts with an M. They give it to you at the hospital.
Morphine.
It's morphine. So like if you make them all legal, then people could just do whatever they want. They can make their own choices, right? It's the same thing with like, because cigarettes are so bad. Why don't we just make them all legal? People can smoke cigarettes and kill themselves with that. Let them kill themselves with heroin.
I mean,
I don't know. This is a thought that I'm just spitting out of my mouth right now.
Well, in reality, if you think about it, if you're just causing yourself harm, if you want to harm yourself, I think sometimes we need to let people harm themselves. I mean, at what point are we restricting them from what they want to do and making them be safe and forcing them to preserve their own safety?
Well, that's what we're doing when we make things illegal.
That's what we're doing with seatbelt laws. That's, so I guess there is these are the things I go back and forth. I talk out loud, and as I talk out loud, I'm like, yeah, you kind of need this shit. Yeah, like in New York, we have a law that you can't park on the train tracks. It's kind of common sense. You shouldn't park your car on the fucking train tracks. Yeah. But in New York State, there will be a law. There's a sign at the railroad crossing that says, do not park on tracks.
Fucking crazy.
It's like, it's unlawful to park on the tracks or some shit like that. The fuck are you parking on the train tracks for, Bobby?
Is that so somebody can't just be like, well, nobody told me I couldn't fucking park here?
Yeah, because I'm sure there were some assholes that their car ended up from here to here. This is where the train goes, from there to here. Bro, that's the only place your car has to not be to not get hit by that train.
It's not even that big of a width.
Bro, your car is longer than the train tracks.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally. Avoid that space, Poppy.
Yeah, but people are dumb. I guess that's what it comes down to. So I don't know what the right thing to do or what the wrong thing to do is. I don't know if they should.
I shouldn't say that. That's sad. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy and a travesty when somebody gets injured on the train tracks. But I'm saying, avoid the goddamn train tracks.
I don't know why you got to make it illegal. You should just know, right? You should just know you can't.
It's common sense. If you want to,
like I said, I totally, I get it, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna make, what they should make legal, and what they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's why we're not lawmakers. Yeah. I mean, again, we're just two fucking dudes.
Totally full circle.
Yeah, huh?
I came totally full circle because now I'm at the point where I was like, damn, fuck it, make it all legal and make them let people do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
The people that want it are gonna do it anyways. If you want to do heroin, you're gonna go out and you're gonna do heroin.
Yeah, a law is not gonna stop you. Yeah. Just like gun laws, not all, but a large percentage of crimes that are committed with firearms are done with illegal firearms. So therefore, when you restrict the ownership of guns and the ownership of firearms, you're only restricting law-abiding citizens. That same amount of violence, those same amount of crimes are still going to occur because they're occurring with.
Will continue to get their guns illegally.
Yeah, they're all committed with illegal weapons. Yeah. So your law is only going to decrease the ability of the victims to protect themselves.
Yeah.
So,
which in tail creates more victims.
More victims, period.
Yeah.
Only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is what?
A
good guy with a gun.
Exactly.
That's it.
100%. So yeah, so it's a really weird perspective.
Allegedly,
it's a weird perspective on what to do with when it comes to like making certain things legal and making certain things illegal.
True.
But no matter what, still is fucked up. The cigarettes are 100% like legal.
Yeah,
and we know that they cause harm.
They are
like these other things that doesn't cause as much harm.
You want to see somebody lose their shit? Hide their cigarettes. They'll lose their shit like something you've never seen. You can hide their money.
Yeah.
And they won't get as angry with you
if you hide their cigarettes
as they would if you hid their cigarettes. It's crazy like that.
People will leave their job.
Yeah, for sure. They'll leave. They'll lose their shit. They'll lose control. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people will lose control in that time span. Threaten you. It's a legitimate addiction.
100%.
They'll go and buy more. They will go and buy more rather than continue to look for it. Allegedly, I've been told. Not like I've witnessed somebody do this. People just saying.
Sure, 100%.
Of course they do, and I have witnessed it.
Yeah, 100%. I know. So. I'm one of my best friends smokes cigarettes. He's a Newport Short man.
Woo, Newport Short. Okay.
Yeah, he's a Newport Short man, and Listen, the guy likes cigarettes. It is what it is.
That is what it is, man.
I do think that I tell him all the time. I'm like, yo, these shits kill people, right?
And people a lot of times they only link it to lung function. A lot of times what gets you from smoking is cardiac function. Your heart gets damaged.
Yeah.
That's when you have that CAD
plaque buildup from their fucking commercials.
That's
you ever
it.
seen those commercials?
Yeah, man, that's a real thing. You get coronary artery disease and stuff like that. And your coronary arteries are the ones that feed your heart, the ones that are wrapped around your heart like this, the ones you see on all the little models and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only so many of those. You start to block those up. That's when you start
to fix those?
Yeah, you get a bypass. You get what's called a cabbage. Yeah.
Technology is so crazy. These motherfuckers will pull a vein out of your fucking ankle.
Yeah, that's what it's called, a cabbage, a coronary artery bypass graft.
Put it in your heart.
Yeah, bro. They just reroute the blood. They just go around the blockage,
and eventually that blockage just dies, right?
Yeah, your blood just follows the new route.
That's insane.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. My dad had one. My dad had 5 bypasses. He had a quintuple bypass. They had to harvest. He's got scars from his knee down to his ankle on both legs. They had to harvest veins from there, and they had to bypass 5 of his coronary arteries, which are the arteries that feed your heart.
That's nuts.
He was in his 40s. My dad, I think he was 44 when he got that shit. My dad's got a few of those too.
A stent. They just literally. It's like in layman's terms, it's like a stick. They just put.
It's like a little Chinese finger trap. That's what it is. It's a little mesh. I have one at the house. I'll show it to you.
And what's it do? It just holds the vein open?
Yeah, it's like a little mesh, and it's like kind of spring loaded. So what they do is they slide it in, and then it opens up. It's like a Chinese finger trap. It's like a little mesh net.
Crotch, or they could go in through your leg too, right?
Yeah, they can go in through your groin, through like your femoral artery. They can go in radially through your arm as well. But a lot of that's the preferred site.
Can you imagine 50 years ago, 100 years ago, somebody would have told you, listen, man, they're going to be able to take one of the veins out of your fucking leg. Take a vein out of your leg, and they're going to have a thin rod, like a flexible rod, and they go in through your fucking crotch and put a spring in your heart.
And it's got a camera on it.
They
go up there and they know where they're going. They route through your femoral artery all the way up through your body into your heart. How do they not make a wrong turn or tear something? Or it's remarkable. I used to think that
veins were just like liquid. Like if you pulled them out, they would have just dissolved. When I was a kid, if you would have told me, I was like, yes,
bro. I mean, there's no way to really understand what that shit really is.
Yeah,
people are in medicine for their whole lives. I mean, that's why it's like when you get into a field like nursing or medicine, you commit to a life of learning, just like IT.
Well, you're practicing.
Yeah, it's just like IT. Like you will always be learning. There's no, I know this and it doesn't change.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you learn how to build, a door frame, for the most part, that's not going to change over the course of the years. Like you can learn that in the 80s, and building a door frame is pretty much the same process in the 2000s, I would imagine.
It's like building a tire.
Exactly. Tires haven't changed in how many years?
Haven't changed.
I'm sure decades.
Different composite, but
it's the same concept.
Same tire.
Exactly. But now think about computers. Think about if you learned how to operate and work on computers. People that are working on computers in the 80s are probably still in the field.
There's people in the industry right now that you work with them and they're just like, they used to be really good. And they're just like, I don't know how to use any of that stuff. They understand conceptually how the computer operates, but the navigation and operating through the user interfaces, they're just not used to it.
No, man.
And that's one of the things that you get from, I'm lucky enough to kind of, I think I grew up in a good time where like we went from like a text-based interface, like kind of command prompt, like you would type in your commands.
Yeah, like terminal. Yeah.
To like
for Mac users, like
like a terminal to a graphical interface. And because I watched that happen, like that absorbing like the graphical interface is easy for me because I've watched it from its like infancy, from when graphical interfaces were just like, just like simple, just like click here, click there. And then now it's like drop down menus and autofill and flash and,
it's completely different.
Yeah. So I think if you're like, if you grew up in like, late 80s, early 90s, like you're going to be good at understanding like how to dude, install an app and like you could use it in like 3 seconds. Like the way interfaces are designed now is designed so somebody could pick up and just play.
It's designed for a user starting at, it's like a franchise movie that doesn't connect to the previous films. It's like you should be able to pick up from here and start.
Exactly. Yeah. But if you're not already programmed, then you're not going to get it.
Yeah. And then sometimes you don't realize how many steps there are from the very beginning until you try to explain it to someone. Yeah. Like I was trying to tell my parents how to check an email, because on their smartphones, I got them new phones and stuff, and I was teaching them how to use it. So I'm like, this is how you check, for your email. I made you an email account, and this is how you send a text message. So my dad's like, okay, text message. And then I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, you just open the text app. And he's like, what's an app? And I'm like, oh shit, like, damn, okay, like now we're gonna say, and I'm like, okay, this is the app. Yeah, like, why didn't I think of that? Of course you don't know what an app is,
Yeah.
So I explain what the app is, and I'm like, you do this, I'm like, and then you click here and you just type in what you want. And he's like, how do I type it in? And I'm like, fuck, you got to touch in this little space, and then when you see the little flashing thing, the keyboard appears. It's just all these tiny things that you would never know is even a thing anymore until you try to teach somebody that's completely unfamiliar.
Yeah, you're programmed already, so you know how to do it.
It's unbelievable. I was trying to tell my dad how to. He's gotten so much better. He loves YouTube. YouTube is his shit. Oh my God, he loves it. You kidding me? All he does is watch YouTube all fucking day long. Like all day long. Like you want to see something in the next couple of years, it's going to be older people that are going to be getting in trouble at work and shit for fucking with their phones. Like we're over it already. We're like, we can do shit while we fuck with our phones.
Yeah.
I see people daily driving on their phones.
100%.
And I can't front. It's a little fucking terrifying. But at the same time, I'd much rather see an 18-year-old fucking with their phone than a 60-year-old fucking with their phone.
That's a wicked combination.
When I'm next to somebody like that and it's an old lady and she's looking... And I'm like, oh no, this is terrifying. I'm like, I need to get out of here.
Somebody stop this bitch. You're under citizen's arrest.
Yeah. And then I see a 16-year-old. They're like on the phone. They're like passing a joint to their friend and they're driving. I'm like, nah, he's doing all right.
Thumbs up, sweetheart.
Yeah. You're doing all right, man. You're staying in the right lane. Smart. You must be on cruise control. So it's when you have to explain it from the very beginning to an older person that has no idea. That's when it really becomes apparent. It's fucking scary. It's terrifying. I'm like, God, the world must be moving at such a fast pace that what do? The world is blowing by people that don't understand apps and they just learned Facebook, older people. That's the Facebook play. That's the old people playland is Facebook.
Nobody's on Facebook anymore.
Nobody's on Facebook unless you're still posting chain letters and arguing about politics in the comments.
Oh my God.
That's all it is.
I enjoy like the feed for Facebook. It's super interesting, like the way like their not their analytics, the way
their interfaces.
Their software's ability to like anticipate what I want to see and kind of feed me stuff that I want to see.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and I'll scroll down my feed and there'll just be like stupid videos of stuff that I don't follow, but they just know I want to watch it, and I'll just watch it, and then I'll see like, oh, my aunt's arguing with my other aunt about like who she's voting for.
Of course, right?
One of my my other aunt is like putting up pictures of her new boyfriend or something like that. It's like the weirdest thing. It's like it's just older people. It's just my family, like my older family.
Yeah.
Or like my parents or something like that. Is nobody young is on.
That's all it is,
Facebook anymore.
Constantly.
Remember when it was just a college site? It was like you had to be.
Bro, I remember. I explained that to my girl, like because my girl's a little bit. I think she's like a year
off your generation, a year off your
because we're like 4.5 years apart.
A year off your crowd.
Yeah, exactly. So like we just missed, like when I explained it to her, I was like, the first time I saw Facebook, I was like, that shit was unbelievable. I was visiting a buddy of mine that went to St. John's University. And I remember I'm at his dorm. We're at his dorm and we used to like sneak around, go to parties because that's like essentially a dry campus. It's a Catholic college, but it's St. John's University. They have a big basketball team. They have like big sports programs. So it's kind of lit over there. It's just low key lit. Yeah. You just got to know where to go and shit. So we used to go there. We used to drive there. I used to drive my 1986 Buick Regal out there. I used to drive that shit all the way to Queens, bro. I used to drive that shit everywhere. Brooklyn. I used to drive it everywhere. I can't even believe I had the nerve. That shit had like one engine mount. That shit was fucking wild. But the paint job was fresh and the rims was on point.
That's all that matters.
So I used to drive that shit out there to St. John's to visit him. I remember I was there and we were chilling and it was like kind of late already. There was really nobody around. And I was probably like 18, 19 years old or something. And I'm like, yo, like what's going on? Like, where's the girls at? I think I was even younger than that. I was probably like 18, something like that. And I'm like, I'm like, yo, like, what's going on here? Like, can we go to a party or something? And he's like, yeah, hold on. He takes his computer out. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, yo, I'm going to look on something. So he logs into this shit. And then I'm seeing pictures of girls and accounts of girls and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, yo, and he's like, nah, I'm just checking out like who's up and shit and what's going on, like where these girls are at. And I'm like, oh, all right. I'm like, that's cool. But yo, let's like go hit a party. And he's like, nah, these girls right here. I'm going to see what they're doing. And I'm like, man, but I'm trying to like, you know, I'm trying to get out here, go to a party and shit. And he's like, nah, like these girls live up the fucking hallway. And I'm like, what? And he's like, these girls right here. He's like, this girl's in my,
they're doing.
And he's like, this girl's in my class and shit. They live like down the hallway on the other side, like where the girls stay in the dorm. And I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? I said, that girl right there and that person right there, that other girl there, they're down there.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're right down the hallway. He's like, look, they're messaging and shit. They're online and shit. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So he explains it to me. I said, how can I get one?
Yeah.
I said, I want a Facebook.
Yeah.
He said, this is called Facebook. That's what he told me.
You used to have a university ID.
And it had to be specific universities. There were only like upper echelon universities were involved. It was like
the person who put me on went to Purdue.
See, Purdue, you had Harvard and shit. And then St. John's and stuff came a little bit later, but still it was more exclusive. It was still pretty exclusive to colleges, only to colleges. I couldn't even get one. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, because I wasn't going to college. I was like, fuck that shit. I was like, fuck school, bro. I rap and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I rap, I make beats. I don't need no college and shit, you know? Yeah. So then he was, when he was telling me that, I was like, fuck, I need to like go to school. I thought about college strictly to get on Facebook. Just to see what's going on.
MySpace back in the day?
Yeah, I had a MySpace back in the day.
MySpace was crazy. You used to come onto my MySpace and it was like you hit the nightclub.
Yeah.
I had the music.
Yeah, bro.
I was nice.
It was Latin night on your MySpace.
1000%. I had like Teo Calderon.
Shut the fuck.
I was so good with HTML. I used to make like profiles.
You're a piece of shit.
I used to make profiles for people because I was nice, bro.
That's hilarious.
I'm not even kidding, bro. I was,
and that's the thing now. Believe it or not, that's a thing now. People make a living strictly off of developing banners and shit for Facebook and social media accounts. And you were doing that back in the day. You were ahead of the whole shit, bro.
I was, yeah. Too bad I didn't fucking take advantage of it. I could have been fucking designing 3D Facebook banners right now.
Bro, you could still do that shit now. This motherfucker's learning like Adobe Audition, Adobe Illustrator in like 2 days.
Not even. You know what? No matter what I learned, I'd be undercut by some fucking kid in Tagala or whatever.
Yeah, some kid.
Tagala's a language, not a fucking place. Somewhere in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I meant to say. Somewhere in Sri Lanka is going to undercut me because $34 for him is probably like.
Shout out Fiverr.
1 million
Shout
rupees.
out Fiverr.
Exactly.
We're 1 million rupees. Yo, bro, my fucking ribs, bro. I'm gonna
charge a fraction of what I charge to get feed the village with it, and because anybody can get a computer nowadays, so we're not at an advantage anymore.
Who's that big bodybuilder dude that you told me about on YouTube?
Bradley Martin. Yeah,
is that him?
Yeah,
it's like
Bradley Martin.
Did you see him having that tug of war with the tiger?
Yeah, bro. That's not. You talking about the big black dude that was tugging war with the tiger?
Nah, the big dude that you told me about, the bodybuilder.
He wasn't doing a tug. I see him stand up with it. Maybe he was doing a tug.
No, he's doing a tug of war. Watch it.
Okay.
That's what it says. It says me versus strongest big cat. That was like the video.
Oh, okay. He was recently in Abu Dhabi.
He brought his mom over there. Yeah, it must be Abu Dhabi because that wild shit. Oh my God. This reminds me. I just read right before I came in the house. This dude down in Florida paid $150 to play with this black leopard, like a big black panther, at some dude's secret sanctuary, like his own private sanctuary in Florida. Yo, shit mauled this dude, bro.
Killed him?
No, but fucked him up. Ripped his ear off, ripped his eyeball out. Took the fucking hair off it took his whole scalp and his face off, bro. They said his shit was hanging off. I was like, $150 to get your face ripped off, B.
Why do you want to hang out with a panther?
At some dude's crib? You're just going to go to some guy. He's like, listen, I got these big cats, bro. Exotic animals over here.
What do you think like he had like a chain on? You think he had like a rope on him or something like that?
As soon as he entered the enclosure, the article said he just got ripped apart. Said the shit just ran up on him and fucked him up immediately. Like immediately. Like there was no like, oh, I'm petting him like the newscasters when they got the like cheetah on a harness and shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, kitty. And then turns around and it's like, wow, like grabs her by the hair or something.
Damn.
Nah, this shit was like apparently.
You didn't even get to touch it.
Nah, fucked him up. Just like, I guess it's like that chimp with that lady that time.
Dude, that's fucked up though. That lady was feeding that chimp Xanax and shit though.
Xanax and like green
and wine,
tea.
And wine.
Yeah. Xanax, like green tea and shit.
That monkey was a fucking dope fiend.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Yeah, she had that monkey cracked out.
You ever hear that 911 call?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's in the fucking face.
Yeah, it's ripping
it.
And then you can hear like in the background, it's like, woo, woo, woo,
What was the monkey's name? She kept calling the monkey.
I don't know. She was calling him something. She's like, please help me. Yo, turn that lady. Woo.
Did you see the lady reporting on corona deaths in the clown makeup?
That's terrifying.
Did you see that?
From Oregon. Yeah.
What she was a doctor?
I don't know what she was, but she scared the shit out of me.
She was like a clinician.
She scared the shit out of me. That's what I know.
I was like, why the fuck are you wearing this?
I'm terrified.
It's the 25th. Why are you wearing the
I almost dressed up tonight.
You were going to dress up?
I was going to dress up tonight.
I'm not going to lie, guys. Justin told me he wanted to deck this place out.
I wanted to decorate. Berto kind of, he didn't deny it. He didn't agree. He just left it alone.
I didn't disagree. You want to know my opinion live?
What?
I'll tell you. I didn't disagree. I just thought that it was like, we can't do it tonight.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to go live again tomorrow?
We go live tomorrow and we'll put those cobwebs. And then for Christmas, we could do the spray paint snowmen.
That's what we'll do. And I'm gonna get a little Santa hat for the master.
Oh, that actually be pretty cool.
A little Santa hat decal.
There's the logo that's right there. I think that actually works. I think it is right there. It's right by Justin's it's right there. You guys are seeing it. It's right there. Point over your arm, Justin.
Right here. It's right by my busted ribs.
Yeah, exactly.
He's right here.
Yeah, we'll throw a Santa hat on that guy.
Right here.
Damn, we should throw a jack-o'-lantern on his face,
guy,
right?
Right here. Ow, fuck.
We should throw a jack-o'-lantern on his face for Halloween.
Yo, we could do it. We could do it still. It's not too late.
Yeah, it's not too late.
But shit, I think we're close to wrapping, bro.
That's sad.
I think we're close to wrapping. I think we touched on pretty much everything that the few things at least that I wanted to talk about, and it's all good, man.
I talked about everything I wanted to talk about, I think, and more.
You think we'll catch some of that Gegard Mousasi fight?
I hope so.
So what's up? Let's sign off.
All right, that's it. So thank you guys for watching. If you're watching it live, thank you for watching it live. If you're watching this pre-recorded or after it's posted, thank you. Make sure to check us out. We are live on Twitch, live on YouTube, Instagram,
Twitter,
Masters of None. Bunch of different variations. We're gonna get to the point where we're just gonna write our name in and we're gonna
just match up the logos when you search Masters of None podcast.
Yeah,
that's it. Masters of None podcast, and you're gonna find us. Just match up the logo. Just look for the Master of None. Just look for him with the MON jersey on. You'll see him.
Yeah, tell us who you think is gonna win the Tyson fight.
Yeah, Tyson fight, and also this weekend, man. I think we might be doing another giveaway. We're not sure yet, so just check out when you guys, if anybody has an opinion or anything like that on that Anderson Silva fight this weekend, Halloween. The Spiders fighting on Halloween, ironic.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be checking you guys, man.